Now, life has been pretty good so far for us. We have managed to call all of the shots and our program hasn't complained. It's pretty good to be the boss. But now the problem is the program's starting to get jealous. It wants to make some of its own decisions, so we gotta kind of grant that. And it'll be good, right? Let the program do some of the work. We don't have to do it all. So we're going to do this with if statements. Now, if statements are going to allow you to execute a certain part of your code if something is true. So let's take a look at that. First, we'll start off by our preprocessor command, as we've always done. Hashtag include IOStream in triangle braces. Define our namespace using namespace std with with a semicolon at the end. Then we're going to make our main function. We're going to be using integer data, so int. Your name of your function has to be called main for this first one. You're going to have open and close bracket to indicate that it is a function. You have an open curly brace and a closed curly brace. Everything inside of there belongs to the main function. And you can have your return value of 0 to indicate that you've successfully got to the end of your main and it's time to end the program. Now, I'm going to put something here that we haven't seen before, which are comments. Comments are just going to be something that is not looked at by your compiler, so it's going to be invisible, and you can use it to leave notes for yourself. You have to make sure that you do it like this. You can't just write things all over the place because we know that your compiler takes things very seriously, and if you have words lying around, it's going to get confused. So if you put two slashes, like you see right there, then everything after that is going to be a comment, and it's not going to be included in your code. So I'm just going to write start of main function over here, and I'm going to write end of main function over here. Now, you don't have to do this all the time, and the only reason I'm going to be doing this for this video and for maybe a few more, just until we get the hang of it, is I'm going to be putting that to indicate which curly braces belong to what, because we're going to have more curly braces inside of curly braces with the if statement, and it might get a little bit confusing if this is your first time seeing it, so I'll leave it there just to be clear. So, to make an if statement, all you have to do is write the word if. Very simple. And then you see there it pops up if condition, so you can put an open and close bracket, and if whatever you put inside those open and close brackets is true, then whatever is inside these curly braces that we're going to put here will be executed. So I can put right up here, I can write start of if statement, and down here, end of if statement, just so you guys can see, what belongs to what. Now we want to have a few variables here, right? So let's get some variables. We're not going to put that inside of our if statement. Let's write integer of x is equal to 5 and integer y is equal to 9. Let's put that right there. Now, what is a statement? Like, what can we put inside of this if statement to see if it's going to be true or not? So let's just put out, what have we seen so far? Really simple, printing text out on the screen. The if statement was true. And you'll see this printed out on the screen. So, if whatever we put inside of these braces over here ends up being true, then this is going to be printed out on the screen. The if statement was true, so we know that whatever statement was in there ended up being true. I can actually make this even closer, make it neater. There you go. We're going to put one more statement down here, which is outside of your if statement, which is just going to show that the program worked because something was printed out on screen. So we're going to write hello. And line. So that means this is always going to be printed down here. This hello is always going to be printed, but the one we want to see is if this if statement going to be printed. I actually want more room here, make it a little bit neater. There you go. So what are things we can put inside of here? Well, we know that we can use greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or not equal to. I'm going to take a look at all these right here. So how about we start off to see how this if statement works. What if we put x is greater than 2. Now we could see that the variable x is 5, right? So 5 is greater than 2. That means when we run this, we should see this statement, the if statement was true, and you should be able to see hello. You should see both of them. So let's go take a look to see if that ends up being true. We're going to have a build successful, and you see the if statement was true. That's awesome. Now how about we put x is less than 2? Now we should only see the bottom statement because it's not part of the if statement. The build succeeded, and we only see hello, which means everything inside of this if statement was not true, so it was not printed. This code was not part of your final result. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more. Let's see let's say less than or equal to would be that. So how about we put less than or equal to 5? We see build succeeded, and now you're going to see both statements. A way you can do it, because this is less than or equal to on the computer, you don't have the fancy, less than sign with the line under it that you see when you write it on paper when you're doing math. You have to do it like this, and a great way to say it is just think about it. Less than, so you have the less than symbol, equal to, so you have the equal. So that's the order you're going to put them in, and you can obviously do that for greater than or equal to. Because if you also went just like this, x is greater than 5, you're going to find out it's going to be false because x is not greater than 5. It is equal to 5. So make sure you keep that into consideration. Next thing, how about we go with variable y. Now, what if we wanted to make something equal to it, right? That means this statement is only going to be true and the if statement will only execute if y is equal to one value. Do we do it like this with one equal sign? No, we don't, because we saw that this equal sign is designated for assignment only, which means right here, x is equal to 5. That's what the equal sign's for. It's when you're assigning a value to a variable. So we're actually going to go and put 2 equal signs right there. Let's make it nice and neat. 2 equal signs will mean that this if statement will only execute if y is equal to 9. Let's go and take a look to confirm if this is true or not. The build has succeeded, and we see that our statement is now down here. The if statement was true. Now, the last one we can look at is not equal to, which is going to be an exclamation point and an equal sign. Let's go ahead and put it right there. We'll see that once again, it did not appear. And once again, if you want to find out the order, not equal to, with the equal part is the second part of that word when you're talking, so the equal will come after the exclamation mark. Just a little trick for you guys to remember. And we can also see that if we would put any other number in here, we'll see that we're going to get a true if statement, and our if is going to print because y is not equal to this huge number, and right there you see that that is true. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Well, I'll be back with some more later. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be back with more later. Bye.